So I want to make a quick update video for the few who care out there. A few weeks ago I made a, video saying that I was going to try to play all four of the four mainstream gacha games, right? ZZZ, HSR, Wu and Genshin, so that I could actually have a more valid opinion whenever making videos on their game state. However, I'm going to be honest, as most people expected, it just hasn't been good, right? And it's not that it's impossible for me to do. Technically, I do have the time for it, but the mental toll of always spending an hour of my day on 4 different gachas is simply annoying, right? I don't like it, feeling like playing games are a chore instead of me actually playing them because I enjoy them or I'm having fun with them. So I'm going to say this straight up. Out of all the gacha games, the only one I'm probably straight up quitting is Genshin, right? Genshin, I've already gone on record before saying that I just hate open world gachas because of the fact that they make you run around for days on end whenever there's a new map expansion to milk as many pulls as possible from the map. However, WUA is a lot more bearable because of the much better movement and the flight mechanic compared to Genshin. And Genshin, even with the not-link characters, I have to say it's just a complete fucking slog. So I truly don't see myself continuing to play Genshin at all. Now, of course, I could always come back for like a little bit, maybe a small break or something. However, once again, I am not going to speak on the game state of games that I don't play consistently, because then I'm obviously going to have like some level of bias, right? So I don't want to speak on Genshin. The other game I'm probably going to take a break from but not quit is WUA. I was truly very excited for WUA Zanny, but once again, I don't want to kick a dead dog, but to explain how I feel, this patch is just completely underwhelming. For an anniversary, we're getting 10 more limited pulls than usual, and that's it. You can't even make an argument for the events. All the events for the patch are out now, and even most of, mainstream media agrees with me. These events are complete slogs, and for the most part repetitive and boring for not even all that many rewards, right? We got the introduction of the dot system, 4-star issue similar to HSR. There's no new content, no new map. This is the most underwhelming anniversary I've ever played in a gacha before. And this isn't any hate towards WUA, because keep in mind, they've been on a hot streak for multiple patches before this Annie, and they probably will continue to once 2.4 comes out with Septimon. However, this Annie specifically was just a little too underwhelming, and unfortunately has left me a little burnt out of the game. Now, this is why I say I'll likely come back, like I did with Renacida and I did a few times before. WUA is an amazing game in my opinion. I think that this whole Hoyo versus Kuro shit that's going on, that's being agenda pushed by these CCs, is completely fucking retarded, and I hate it because a lot of these CCs don't even play both games that they're comparing. However, at the end of the day, this is an amazing gacha game, and I'd even go as far as to say objectively, it is the best gacha game between HSR and Genshin. Now, me personally, I like ZZZ a little more, and I think a lot of people can agree with that as well. Now, ZZZ, I believe, isn't as popular as WUA. However, I do feel like that could pretty easily change in the future, especially with how much content ZZZ is getting, and how I need to catch myself, how good the rewards are compared to these other gachas. I was about to say generous, but I've already gone on record saying before, I will not consider a gacha game generous until you can guarantee at least one new limited unit per patch, okay? Maybe people don't agree with that. That is my opinion. ZZZ is better rewards wise than all 3 of the other games. However, that's not the reason I'm interested in ZZZ. I'm interested in ZZZ because I came back, and I have to say the story feels a lot smoother. The storytelling, the combat feels a lot cooler and smoother as well. And because of this, I've kind of gone reeled back into the game that, surprise, surprise, was the game I gave the most criticism on launch compared to all the other gacha games I've played. I shit on ZZZ so bad badly when it launched, because I truly just absolutely hated the TVs and the way they were going about the story, the fact you could only use one ult for the entire team. It was terrible. However, it seems that now that I've returned, most of the changes that happened in 1.4 really were as big as people were telling me all this time, and I find myself liking ZZZ the most out of all the gachas, with HSR being second, not because it's better than WUA, but because it's more convenient. Love you all. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night. Sorry to the few Genshin viewers who watch me, and honestly a decent bit of my WUA viewers. I will still be making content on these games maybe whenever I come back, but once again, I will not talk about the game state or compare it to Hoyo's, because I simply think that's unfair if I myself am not playing the game. Love y'all. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night. Peace out.